yang paling enak. Begitu doa
Next speech by Minister of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Who's attending this because this is a regional event venue for this conference, which is also very timely. The title of your meeting today is Valuation to the Next Level, Value Roles and Challenges Beyond Valuation Services in Regional Economic Development Community. And as technological transformation shape the digital era, the profession of valuer needed to be brought to the next level and adapt with the change and the challenge of our time. The ASEAN Valuers Association was formed back in 1992, but that was the association with the objective to professionalize and serve the public with valuation services. It was different era back then in 1980s and with our time today. The founder were motivated by the expanding economic and cultural relation among ASEAN countries. It is also encouraging to see that almost 4 decades since the establishment of the ASEAN Valuers Association around the world. So I will give you applause on that. Congratulations for that quality achievement. Current economic development, both regionally, globally, as well as what we are as an ASEAN is facing. And then I'm going to share with you the era of digital economy, of digital technology, and the economic disruption, and what we call it the fourth industrial revolution. And finally, I will touch upon the roles and challenges of valuer in ASEAN in responding to these two changes, that is the economic environment as well as technology and digital disruption. Trade war between the United States and especially with China will definitely have ramifications to the ASEAN region and beyond, and potentially can damage the socio-economic progress which was made in the past 2 decades. You all remember in 2015 when all nations in the world collectively came up with one agreement, that is Sustainable Development Goal. That is the goal of 17 indicators to improve the quality of the people live in this world. The world was very optimistic at that time, and especially in terms of poverty reduction, they are all optimistic that together as one world effort we could reduce poverty to almost zero in our lifetime. But with the current environment of trade war and active unilateral decision, which is not respecting to the rule of the world on how we are going to exchange the policy as well as regulation, this kind of optimism is going to be very difficult to be sustained. The global current environment is indeed volatile. Developed country has been implementing policy without taking into account potential damage on emerging and developing countries. This was marked by unilateral implementation of the tariff policy by United States, which triggered the trade war. This condition is exacerbated by also the changing fundamental of the monetary policy by the United States. Due to this trade war and monetary policy in the United States are expected to continue until next year. Next year. We are all understand and knows as well as following very closely that the United States will continue to increase interest rate until the next year for almost all commodity imported to the United States. It can cover more than 500 billion commodities of import from China to the United States that will be imposed by tariff at least 10%, or at most it's going to be 25%. The US trade war was not only against China, but also with Canada, European, and increase the world wealth, but it will only make nation and people poorer. In this regard, many global leaders, and especially in the G20, and we are going to welcome the whole world finance minister and central bank governor to the IMF World Bank annual meeting next October. Trade, in our understanding, is supposed to be win-win solution or win-win situation, both for the exporter as well as the importer. And that's why we build more infrastructure and focusing more on the human capital. We continue involve and engage so that the design of policy facing with this technological change will continue to be inclusive. Since we are now facing with the fourth industrial revolution and the digital era, ASEAN, although we've already defined and designed the integration and also declaring ASEAN economic community, we transformation. You are all here and you are going to discuss all these changes in your meeting and what does it mean in terms of the profession of the valuer. The impact of the digital economy for valuer is primarily in the redefinition of asset and change in business processes and business model that make conventional method of valuation no longer fully of the digitalization process in providing their professional services. This brings challenges as well as opportunity for all valuers to adapt. Any profession definitely are now looking at the risk whether they could lose their job if they cannot adapt to the change and adapt their business process as well as leadership strategy that need to be adjusted accordingly. As I mentioned earlier, data sharing, standardization of services, harmonization of the business environment, and reducing barriers of valuers' mobility becoming very, very critical and need to be discussed and addressed accordingly. I believe that all of you are very fortunate to have the organization such as the ASEAN Valuers Association, which aim to foster closer relation and cooperation, as well as to understand within this profession in ASEAN member countries.
Writing the law.